Braided my hair again. You know, I like traditional close braids. I don't like to be able to see through my scalp. And when I tell y'all to oil sheen your hair, because it's just easy and you're guaranteed to not miss any spot. It doesn't matter what type of oil you use, as long as you're using it religiously. Y'all can buy all of this stuff that's promising y'all hair growth or anything. Hair is gonna grow no matter what, as long as there is no damage. Other than that, there is nothing you can put on the outside of your hair to make it grow. However, there are things you can put on it to keep it from breaking while growing. So you wanna look for stuff like this, where like this says alcohol free. Things with alcohol in it is gonna dry your hair out. Dryness is the #1 cause of breakage because it causes your hair to be brittle and to break. Just think of a twig, a branch on a tree. When it's dry and it's hot outside, it's so easy to break that branch, right? Breaks just like that. Now, when it's wet, try wetting a twig and try to break it. It's gonna bend, right? Because the hair, it's flexible. So you want your hair to be flexible. That is what keeps it from breaking. You know how you read those directions on all of those drops and those special oils that y'all are purchasing and stuff? Now, there's nothing wrong with purchasing those, because I'm an advocate for any type of oil on our hair, However, if you were to do that same routine with any other oil, you would get the same results. That is the problem. Y'all think y'all can just put some oil in your hair one time or pack it with oil before you get a weave, keep it covered for 2 weeks, 3, sometimes a month, and then do that again, and that's just supposed to save your hair. Your hair needs to be exposed sometimes for a certain amount of time in order to even accumulate so much moisture to where you can afford to go a month, 2 months with certain styles, you know, without putting anything on it. That's why it's important to give your hair a break. But giving your hair a break doesn't mean you just have to wear it out, you know, out crazy, afro, flat iron. Everybody's hair doesn't work that way. Getting things, that's why I suggest things like this: singles, small singles, traditional style, where there is a light gel used to where it's not so, it doesn't cover the hair so much that you cannot penetrate, any oil can't penetrate. That's why I suggest things like that. Or yeah, wearing your natural hair, you know, you can do that if you can, if that works for you. But those are better options than, or getting your hair braided up into a ponytail or a bun or something like that. But something to where your hair, most of your hair is exposed and accessible for you to put some oil on it. Y'all get me now? Just like y'all see on the directions how it tells you to put these drops in your hair twice a day, 3 times a day, or whatever, every other day, or however, whatever the directions say. If you did the same thing with oil, any oil, you would get the same results, as long as it's not something that's going to dry your hair out more. And the thing is, you don't want to just get it on your scalp. You want to oil sheen your actual hair. Oil your hair. That's why I always recommend regular singles, not knotless, not nothing with them big old sections and stuff like that where it's impossible for any oil to penetrate because you got so much gunk on it, aka edge controller, whatever, braid gel. It's so much on it you can't even penetrate it with the oil. But the thing is, you want your hair, so I always say oil down to wherever your hair stops. You know, my hair stopped all the way down here, so make sure we go all the way down my braid. And you're gonna take your time. Make sure you get the back, make sure you get it under, you know, all of that. And you also want to make sure you get your scalp, because it's your skin. When you get out the tub, don't you need to put some lotion or cocoa butter or Vaseline or something on your body because it's dry? It's the same thing you're gonna do with your scalp. It ain't nothing special that you gotta do. It ain't nothing special that you need to do to your hair to get it to grow. Now, another thing is, as long as you have split ends, which is the start of the breakage, as long as you have split ends, it's not going, there's nothing you can put on it to magically make them not split anymore. You have to cut it off at the split, at the V. You gotta cut it off right there. Just think of a banana peel, cut it. You gotta cut it off, and then you continue. You don't have to do big chops. You don't gotta do all of this extra fancy stuff. It's like really nothing to it. Like, it's really nothing to it. It's easy to take care of your hair. And if you are incapable of taking care of your own hair, go to a professional. Now, if a professional is telling you that you need to get all of this stuff, you need to do all of this stuff, they're lying. And they just really probably don't know what they're looking at. Well, they probably really don't know what they're talking about, I should say. say. And another thing, when it comes to curl patterns, your hair is not damaged just because it doesn't automatically it goes back to your original curl once wet. That does not mean it's damaged. You either need to clarify it, needs to use some clarifying shampoo, or just take a break from flat ironing it. I promise it will go straight back. You don't need to cut that off. Damage, you will know damage. It's hard. Your hair is hard. Feels like sandpaper, or feels brittle, or feels like you're holding like sticks in your hand. That is damaged hair. Or sometimes you can even look at it and see when it's a different color. You see how, for instance, you'll see some people, they'll have damage from chemicals like relaxer. You'll see the relaxed part will be so brown, and then your natural hair will be dark. Where, let's say, where that new growth is coming in at is so much darker, but it's so brown. Once you put that chemical on there, bingo. Yeah, you get where I'm getting at, right? You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, yes. Usually that is damage. And another thing, tie your hair up every night with a silk scarf or satin. Notice I said scarf, not bonnet. A bonnet is for styles like curls, or let's say you have like a bun or something that your scarf isn't big enough to cover. You can use your scarf to tie down the hairline, because a scarf will keep your hair complacent so it doesn't move and it doesn't rub and it doesn't do all of that. That's what the scarf is for. You can put a bonnet over that just to cover the rest of the style. Y'all get me? Okay, hear me out. Just follow me, because I don't think y'all really get it.